Well, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first attempt at going live on YouTube. I had no idea this was even a thing. And so I'm getting ready to go out, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. Actually, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Lori Landsberg, otherwise known as Limelight Lori, and I am an executive lead director with Limelight by Alcone. If you clicked on this video, you probably know a little bit about Limelight, but I am going to tell you more as I'm getting ready. We are a direct marketing division of a professional cosmetics distributor based in Manhattan, New York. That's basically what Limelight is in a nutshell. The products that Limelight carries are professional grade brands from different vendors from around the world that Alcone carries in their store in Manhattan. And they decided it was time to give regular, everyday, average women an opportunity to try these professional grade cosmetics that makeup artists were using and celebrities were using on the sets of movies and film and TV and runway, model shoots, New York Fashion Week, IMATS, the makeup show, that kind of thing. And so they decided to create Limelight as a division of the Alcone store and carry some professional grade products that they carried in their store, and that way they could get it out to the average woman. And so I'm an average woman, you're an average woman, and I'm going to show you a few of the products that as I'm getting ready. So this is our priming spray. Our spray actually comes from Scandinavia. That is a very well-known primer and setting spray company. And I'm going to spritz my face. And the reason I like this setting spray because it's a fine mist and it's vitamin based, so it's very good for your skin. So we partner with different companies, and that's where our products come in. We partner with different companies that we have relationships with and have for over 65 years. Alcone Company was created in 1952. And they have been a staple in the beauty industry. I mean, they're an icon. Everyone knows who Alcone is. This is where all the pros get their makeup. I'm missing something here. And so we partner with these different companies, these different vendors, to bring you the best of the best. Because basically, Alcone went through their store of over 10,000 brands, and they handpicked what they wanted to put in Limelight. So they handpicked the foundation, the concealers, the setting sprays, the brushes, the eyeshadows, the eyeliner, everything they handpicked. And so they literally picked the very best of the best products. So for instance, our foundation comes from RCMA, which is the Research Council of Makeup Artists. This product has been used in the professional movie industry for decades. It is fantastic foundation. It's wax-based, and it goes on beautifully. This is what Kim Kardashian uses. This is why she has such beautiful complexion. So many other celebrities use this, and it's used on film sets because it works on lots of skin types. And so I'm just going to, actually, the way I like to use it is I like to squirt a little bit of a product we have called Sotox, which is an anti-aging serum that I am addicted to. And I'm going to take our blenderful. This is a beauty blender, but it's much nicer than a regular beauty blender. It's shaped differently. It has a great side that's flat that you can press into your skin, and then a nice area that's smaller where you can get into those smaller areas. And it's not as porous as most, and so it's not going to absorb the foundation like you would a regular sponge and liquid foundation. And I just take it and I just do a twist, and that's all. Now this foundation is 50% pigmented, which means that you only need a little bit, and a little bit's going to go a long way. And that's why it's going to last you a lot longer than other foundations that you've used before. It has amazing coverage. It's buildable, so you can put on a small amount or you can add more based on your preference of coverage. I personally like to do one layer. And it feels super, super light on your skin. Now this is the one feedback that I get all the time from people who try it. I can't feel it on my face. I can't feel it on my face, Lori. And that's because you use such a small amount to get really great coverage. I had a little friend visit there and there. So I might put a little extra on those areas, but otherwise my skin is now perfectly evened out. And it only took a second. And I did that with the Blenderful and the foundation. Let's see. So now what I'm going to do is use, you can see I'm going to use this powder. This powder is also made by RCMA. And when I went to makeup school, and when I went to makeup school, the RCMA foundation was in my kit because that's what professionals use. And the loose powder was also in my kit. This is a colorless powder. It's extremely fine and translucent, and it feels like silk, but it comes in loose powder form. Well, because this whole line in Limelight was created for the average woman in mind, they knew that an average woman wasn't going to throw a container of loose powder into her bag and go out on the night and reapply later. So they put it in a pressed powder form. And so I'm just going to take that, and I like to set my makeup with it so that it doesn't move. Just a light dusting, that's it. And then I'm going to show you what I've had for a year and a half. So this is our little black box. This is our version of the Z palette. It's a double-decker, so you have lots of room to put lots of stuff. Has a mirror, and I have had this bronzer and blush number 6, those two, for a year and a half. There's so much pigment in this makeup, and that's what makes it professional. And that's the difference between, oh look, I have a little hair on my face, so I'll show you a trick real quick. There's a hair from something, so I'll take the spoolie end of my brush, you'll hear about this, it's awesome, and get that off. I love this brush. I have my very favorite brushes that we carry, all professional, vegan, synthetic, perfect shapes, very, very nice. And I'm just going to put a little around my forehead because I have a tall forehead, and I like to give the illusion that it's not as tall as it is. Sometimes I feel like I'm going bald, but I don't think I am. That's what it feels like. So that's just a little bit of the bronzer. I'm just giving myself a little color. I really cannot tell if I'm washed out. I'm sorry if I am. And then I'm going to take our blush number 6, which is the highlighter, and just dust it here. Now, blush number 6 is really popular. This mainly because Oprah Winfrey's makeup artist has very publicly said that blush number 6 is a must-have for all women. It should be in all women's makeup bags because it's just a beautiful highlight for any skin tone. And so that's that. And let me show you another thing that we have, and that is our concealers. So here are 4 of our concealers. Now these are made by Krylon, and I know a lot of you have heard of Krylon because they make brushes and liners and all kinds of things, and these are the concealers, and they are opaque, they are waterproof, and they will cover tattoos. They're fantastic, but yet they're not heavy. They're actually quite light. And now I'm going to put on a little eyeshadow. I'm going to just put some eyeshadow primer on. You could use those concealers as eyeshadow primer, or I happen to like this product. This is made by Urban Decay. It's eyeshadow primer potion, and it really works well to keep my powder, my eyeshadow on. It makes it last all day. It doesn't crease, and it makes the colors pop, so that's always a good thing. And now I'm going to take one of our eyeshadows. This is our eyeshadow palette. Now the great thing about our palettes is they're all customizable. You don't have to buy all 18 shades. You can customize it. You can get them in singles. You can get a palette of 4, 6, or you can get all 18. And you choose your colors, because in the pro world, they're not going to choose your colors for you. And it's not reasonable to buy a palette that's already been pre-chosen for you, because everyone has different tastes. So you get to choose your colors. All custom. So I just put one shadow there. This is called Cream Boat. It's just a cream color, and that helps to set that primer, and it also gives me a nice powder base so that I can work easily with the other shadows, and they blend much better. So I'm going to put a couple of colors on here. Now, the eyeshadows that we used to carry were made by Il Maquillage, and we reformulated those about a year ago and came out with our own formula. So this is actually a Limelight formula, and the reason we did that is because the ones from Il Maquillage had parabens in them, and we were trying to slowly work the parabens out of our makeup. Our skincare line has zero parabens, no chemicals whatsoever, and we'd like to get our makeup the same. So we were able to do that with the eyeshadows, and they're professional and they're awesome, and you'll love them. Now there's a ton of pigment. This brush, look at the color of the brush. I barely tapped my brush in there. Now that's one of, as I said, that's one of the things that makes our makeup professional is the pigmentation. You always have to, when you tap it, you have to like tap it with your fingernail and get the excess off, or you're gonna have a ton of fallout. This is called, it's my favorite one, and I suddenly can't remember the name of it. Peachy Gleam. This is Peachy Gleam. It's a beautiful color. I use this on my brides because it's just the prettiest sheen. It's not really it's not glittery, but it's a beautiful, beautiful sheen. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of, I used the wrong brush. This is, forgotten the name, a Corkable. I'm gonna take a Corkable, and that's gonna go, and this is my pointed blender brush, and that's gonna go in the crease. Now for me, because I have hooded lids, I like to start in the middle. You can do it any way, and I do it different ways depending on just the mood, I guess, and work my way out, because I need, one, to be able to see when I'm looking straight ahead that you can actually see the shadow, and that when I close my eye, it doesn't close up with it. And I blend. Blending is super, super important. And your tools make all the difference. And that's why these brushes are so fantastic, because your tools matter. And if you've never used a professional brush, you could start doing that now. You really should, because it really does, it's a huge, huge difference. And you'll see that the first time you ever use them, and you'll get it, you'll understand. So if you guys have any questions at any point, you can, I don't know if you're allowed to ask me questions. I don't know how this works, because this is my first live from YouTube. Now I do have a Facebook channel that you guys are welcome to follow. My Facebook page is Limelight Lori. You can just find me there. And I do tutorials there on that page as well. And then I usually post them here to YouTube. This is so easy. Now, you know, one of the reasons that makeup artists use pro-grade makeup is because they need something that's going to work for anyone who sits in their chair, and something that's going to work easily. They don't have time to make makeup work for them. It needs to be easy and work for them properly. Because sometimes they have one person after the next sitting in their chair. Just gonna go under my eye with a little bit of that same color of Corkable. And then I'm gonna take a darker color and just put it in the outer V, just to darken it up a little bit. That adds a lot of depth and dimension to the eyes. And take my brush and blend it. If anyone wants to know the colors of these shadows, I can tell you. I told you about Peachy Gleam. This is brownie points, and I just use that in the outer edges there. And then I used a corkable in the crease, and then I used cream boat all over. And so now what I'm going to do is take this brush. This is the brow tamer brush, and this is what I like to use for my brows and for my and for my eyeliner. And I use eyeshadows for that. That's another little trick that's a lot of people don't know about. I'm just gonna take it, run it through my eyeshadow, and because the brush is wet, it's going to look darker. And I've made my own liner. And then you don't have a ton of products in your makeup bag, which is super nice. This is the best brush for this and for your brows. And I'm going to do the same thing underneath my eye. I'm not getting glam or anything tonight. This is just a simple look for this birthday party I'm going to. And then I like to take the, whoopsie, let me grab that. And this is the smoky liner brush. I've already used that. I'm just going to take it. It has a little bit of that eyeshadow left on it, but I'm going to smoke out the that liner. And so that's that. I use a ton of brushes. All right, so now we're going to do brows because my brows are looking really, really scary. And so I'm going to do the same thing, use the same brush, and I'm going to take our 10 Years Younger setting spray. And I'm gonna run that into my shadow because that's how I do my brows as well. And just take a look at my brows now. I like to use this end to brush them out. And then just work slowly, just follow that line. Brows are so important. They frame your face. I like to get a nice arch since I have hooded lids. The higher my arch, the more of a lifting effect it gives. See how much better that is than that? I don't know if you guys can even see my face. Well, I'm going to rewatch it and see. Okay, I'm spritzing my, if you can't, I depress it slightly, and you can, if you don't get a little bit out, then you can squirt some in the top, the lid, and that will work just as well. And so now I'm going to go on my right brow. Oh, dang it, look what I did. See that? There we go. Brow. brows. Okay, and so that's all I'm going to do because I'm not going crazy with my makeup tonight. And I'm going to do a little bit of mascara. Our mascara, did you know that Alcone Company was the first company to ever introduce fibers in the mascara? Our Perfect Mascara is $20. The great thing too about Limelight's makeup is that it's all extremely affordable. And let me curl my lashes. Our mascara is $20. Our makeup is less expensive than most high-end department store brands, and it's professional. And they're not professional. You're not paying for a name. This is a Prima Japanese eyelash curler, and it's fabulous. It really helps you control where you crimp. You can crimp smaller areas, so you can get into the smaller areas. I'm very picky about my lashes. It takes me a long time. And also another really good thing about the mascara is that it's buildable. So you can put layer on top of layer on top of layer. Yes, I take that long every time. I'm picky with my eyelashes, but you can see how great that looks. If you can see. I can't see because I need readers. And then I'm just going to put a little bit on the bottom. If I wanted to have longer lashes, then I could go back and add something to the tips. But look how great that looks. So that is our Perfect Mascara. And then I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Let me get our mirror. And just, there we go, and just make sure that I don't have anything under my eyes. And then really the only thing left to do are lips. And I could put a little color on my cheeks, but I think I'm washed out on the camera. I'm not really that washed out. My favorite lipstick happens to be Not Telling, which is a nude lip color, and it's a perfect nude. We carry different lip products. So we have lipsticks that are traditional lipsticks, and then we have Enduring Lip Colors, which they're a liquid lipstick that dries to a matte finish, and they last a really long time. And then we have lip glosses. This is my go-to lip color. See how pretty that is, that nude? And that's it. So basically I wanted to let you guys know that Limelight is not a line of makeup. We are comprised of different brands from around the world that were handpicked to go in this line so that average women could try professional makeup. So those are all professional brands used by professionals and celebrities in the entertainment world, and they're fantastic, and they have a great price point to them. So if you guys have any questions, leave comments below. Check out my Facebook. I have Instagram, and I'm Limelight Lori, Lori, on both of those, and I will actually leave that in the comments below. So if you have any questions, let me know, and thanks for joining, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I have no idea how to turn this off. Let's try this. Yes.